Welcome into Simply the Bets, brought to you by the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. We will head to the Fanduel Sportsbook a little bit later on. Catch up with our guy, Leon Twyman. Not feeling... there's something we need to discuss on this program today related to the Fanduel Sportsbook. We'll get to that. Aaron Oster from Circa Sports out in Vegas is going to join us in just a second as we try to help you out with your picks for sports betting this week. Hope that your first couple of weeks of legal sports betting have gone a little bit better than mine. I had 3 really good days to kick us off. I had a really good last Wednesday, and then everything else in between, not great. Not great. Again, probably going to – this is the mistake I make, though. I probably shouldn't take days off, right, to, lick my wounds, because those are probably the days I would have been killing it. Probably the days. And by the way, John from Little Rock was beating me up earlier about playing the over last night. Again, I just listened to Jeremy Kahn. That's on me. I screwed up. I know better. Whenever I pick with Jeremy Kahn, it's going to go wrong. Anytime I don't pick with him, he gets everything right. I am his cooler. I screwed it up last night. I don't know why I did that. Let's head out to Vegas. Let's find out what this man thinks about sports betting for the week. He, of course, is now the media relations and marketing manager at the Circa Sportsbook out in Vegas. He is our guy, Aaron Oster, and he is with us now here on Simply the Bets. What's going on, pal? How are you?
I'm doing good. Was actually way better on Saturday because I killed it in college football and then didn't have a good Sunday.
I had a bad 3 days altogether. It was not a good 3 days for your pal. But, again, as we always say, today is a new day. As far as you last week, Maryland, of course, covered comfortably against Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that one easily. You got Michigan with no problem against Purdue in the Big 12 title game.
Yeah, no
Big
problem
10
at all.
title game. Yeah. It did get a little interesting, I guess. Now, a few things that are worth pointing out that a couple did go your way. You, as we pointed out, had Kansas State as your long shot to win the Big 12 back in August at 14-1. So that would have been a very nice payday if you guys had played that one as that indeed. I don't know why Griffin put that in yellow because that one is in blue. It did hit. That one did indeed. Kansas State definitely beat TCU on Saturday.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
what did I mess up? I messed up.
The overtime only counts. As
it's
a
the other one
right?
you put. Oh, I see. I'm off. You're on.
Okay.
You nailed it. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I saw that you had Jimmy Garoppolo in yellow.
Oh.
Yeah. Aaron, and I didn't realize it was because it was a loser. So Aaron was right about that. Aaron had Jimmy Garoppolo at NFL MVP odds at 39-1 as being a loser. I don't know why any human would have ever made that bet, but
people were at the time.
If you didn't, you were smart. He's not going to win MVP. The bad news, right? The bad news. You had Clemson. You had Clemson winning the ACC as a loser at one point in July.
Yes, I did.
That was not a loser bet. Not at all. They won the ACC. You had UFC or UCF to win the American at plus 290 back on August 30th as a long-term bet. Loser. You, for some reason, said that Georgia winning the SEC on September 13th was a loser bet. It most certainly was not. They were comfortable. And back on September 20th, you played a parlay of Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio State to make the college football playoff. You nearly went 1 for 3. Thankfully, you at least got 2. But
do you remember what your response was to that?
What?
It was, the one I'm worried about is Georgia.
Oh, that's really funny. Did I say that? That's really funny. I do remember at the time being like, I don't know. They lost a lot on defense. Yeah. The thing about that is you have a bunch of – if you haven't been paying attention – Aaron's actually played the entire Heisman market. He literally has every college football player in some form or fashion. The only one that he's lost so far, Jackson Smith in Jigba, will not be winning the Heisman at 50-1 odds. But Caleb Williams still appears to be the favorite. For a second, it looked last week like maybe you were onto something with Max Duggan, but
I still wonder if they had let him run in that touchdown and not handed it off twice in overtime, what would we be talking about this week? That's a big one.
I don't know.
Probably not, but it'd be interesting.
Don't know. All right, let's get into this week's 5 L's. A local, a long-term, a long shot, a lovable or a loser, and a lovable bet from Aaron. We begin locally. What you got?
Well, locally there is one college football game to look at this week, and it is the greatest bet in sports right now.
It's the under in Army Navy. You son of a bitch! It's the one I wanted.
I want that too.
Oh, we're gonna have to arm wrestle it. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, in games between service academies, the under has hit 82% over the past 20 years. When it comes to Army Navy specifically, depending on what number you use, the under has either hit 14 times in a row or 16 times in a row. It is the closest thing to a lock there is, which of course means it won't hit this time, but I'm going to play it until it doesn't hit. It's 33 right now. I know that's low. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm playing it anyway. Give me under 33.
I mean, it could be 28, and I might still like the under in this game. This one definitely has all of the makings of a 13-10 football game on Saturday. I am with you. We do share the agreement upon that one. All right, give me your long term. Give me your futures bet that you like so bad.
Well, I'm glad we agreed on the last one, because I have a feeling that you're not going to like this one as much, because this is one of these where I give awards, I give numbers, and you say, yeah, but voters don't care about that. So I'm looking at the Defensive Rookie of the Year market right now, and right now Sauce Gardner is a prohibitive favorite, and Tariq Woolen is sitting there at 5-1. Tariq Woolen just recorded his 6th interception. He's playing at really a Pro Bowl level at cornerback, and by pretty much all metrics, he's having a better year than Sauce Gardner. The problem, of course, is that Sauce Gardner was anointed as the winner back in September. So this very well might be burnt money. But, you kind of look into it. In the past 30 years, no secondary players in the secondary with less than 5 interceptions have ever won Defensive Player of the Year. Sauce Gardner has 2. Woolen sitting there with 6 right now. So I fully acknowledge that voters can be stupid. This might not pay out because voters can be stupid. I do think that there's value there if you're getting plus 500 or better, and right now at Fanduel it's sitting at plus 500. So I don't hate that bet, getting that sort of value.
I get everything you're saying. I don't think that Tariq Woolen's going to win Rookie of the Year, though. I mean, I understand everything you say, and I think that it's not just you say that Sauce Gardner was anointed. Sauce Gardner's been that good. He doesn't have the interceptions, but they're literally not throwing his way. They're treating him.
He's been good. Yeah.
They're treating him like that guy. So, to say that Tariq Woolen's had a better season because he's had more interceptions, I hear you, and sometimes it's like that, but then, wouldn't J.C. Jackson have been Defensive Player of the Year, for a few years, right? I just don't think it's as simplistic as saying. I think Tariq Woolen's been outstanding. I think he's been unbelievable. Wish the Ravens would have taken him at some point, but I don't think this is a case of it being all hype on Sauce Gardner. I think he's very deserving of being Rookie of the Year.
Oh, he's absolutely deserving of the conversation. I just don't think he's deserving to be as big of a favorite as he is right now.
I know what you're saying. I also, the other part of this, of course, is it's the New York market. You know what I mean? It's New York versus Seattle. It's a team that everybody talks about, despite the fact that they're not that good, versus a team that nobody talks about, right? That kind of operates in its own plane of existence in the Pacific Northwest. And, that to me, all of those factors say I just don't see it. But I get what you're trying to say. I just don't like it. That's all. Give me your.
I figured you wouldn't like it.
Give me your long shot. Give me your underdog that you like so much this week.
I'll go back to those FanDuel specials that we've had some success with in recent weeks, and there's one at 14-1 that jumps out at me. It's a parlay of 3 receivers, each recording 100 yards receiving. Those 3 receivers are Devontae Adams facing the Rams. I think, Devontae Adams has definitely been in the game plan lately for the Raiders. You have Tyreek Hill facing the Chargers, and DK Metcalf facing the Panthers. So all of them recording 100 yards. It's definitely a long shot. It's 14-1 for a reason. It's very possible one of these guys will only end up with 82 yards and still have a good game. But individually, all of these feel fairly reasonable. So at 14-1, I don't hate it.
I don't think I hate it either. Honestly, I don't think I hate that whatsoever. I think I will join you on that one. I in fact might even. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I'm a little gun shy at the moment. We'll see if I put a couple bucks down.
Maybe a small sprinkle.
Very small sprinkle might be the play. Might be that I have a $20 free bet sitting over that maybe I use on that. All right, let's get into Aaron Oster is with us. Let's get into the big ones. The one that you say, no matter what you do not make this bet. This bet is a loser.
So we saw a pretty consequential game this past Sunday when it comes to the NFC playoffs, as the Giants and the Commanders ended in a nice little tie.
We call them draws, Aaron. I'm not sure if you're aware. This is football we're talking about. We describe them as draws.
Clearly. The Giants making the playoffs right now, they do sit currently in that last spot, but they currently basically have it as a coin flip. -110 as a yes, -110 as a no. The yes is a big loser right now. You look at the remaining games on their schedules. They play Eagles at home this week, at Commanders, at Vikings, home versus Colts, and finish up at the Eagles. Now, the one saving grace for them is who knows if the Eagles will have anything to play for.
Correct.
In that Week 18 game. But overall, you look at that and you look at some of the other teams, and particularly the Commanders, the Giants' schedule is brutal down the stretch, while other teams really could come up and pass them. I don't think this should be -110. I think that the yes should be easily plus money. I don't think they'll make the playoffs, and even if you do somehow think they're going to make the playoffs, this 110 just isn't correct at all. So do not bet the Giants are going to make the playoffs. I don't believe it'll happen, and even if you do, that value is just completely wrong.
Okay. I mean, I'm not as convinced that, like, they can't come down and beat the Commanders as you are. Like, I get it. It's a road game, and that's tough, and the Commanders just played them to a draw on Sunday. But, like, the Giants had control for that. They had the ball. They should have won that game. I'm not convinced that that's brutal. I get it. The Eagles thing, I don't think there's any world in which they're beating the Eagles. And what are the Commanders? What do the Commanders have at their schedule the rest of the way? Because that's the only real threat to me for the Giants.
I know
they have a bye this. They have a bye this week.
Yeah, so it's Giants. It's at 49ers, who knows who's going to be starting at quarterback.
Yeah, but
home against the Browns.
At 49ers, you're never going to convince me that that's like against that defense. That's a particularly winnable game for Washington.
That's not going to be a gimme game by any stretch, but it's not going to be like they're not going to be 8-point underdogs either. That's probably going to be like the 4.5-point favorites for the 49ers, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Home against the Browns and then home against the Cowboys in Week 18.
And so there's a question there is what the Cowboys have to play for. I got to figure out how the tiebreaker would work now. Like, I guess.
And a big part of it would come down.
Yeah, it would come down to the
game.
Yeah, it really would be determined by that game. So, it has a lot to do there. I don't know. I still think that Washington is a slight favorite that New York is still a slight favorite over Washington to get that final playoff spot, but I hear you about the numbers. I just don't like it as a loser bet. All right, give me your lovable bet. Give me the one that you say, do go make this immediately. Now.
Yep, you should make this bet now because I do think this one is going to move quickly. Dolphins against the Chargers. At the Chargers have opened up as a 3-point favorite. You've already started to see some books start to move it as 3 -120. I think we're about to see it. And I think the Chargers are a complete mess right now. I still think that odds makers as a whole overvalue what home field means in LA for the Chargers. I think on a neutral field, it should actually be more than a 3-point. Dolphins is more than a 3-point favorite. I just think everything about this game screams Dolphins win somewhat comfortably. So give me Dolphins -3 against the Chargers.
I get that. I get it. I mean, there's always there's nobody that leads a spectacular cover drive quite like Justin Herbert does. That's the only thing I would worry about. Like, that man leads you a cover drive.
That's why I want the 3 and not the 3.5.
I hear you on that. All right, what's going on with Circa?
We're getting ready for the Super Bowl. We're getting ready for the NCAA tournament, and no better place to do it than coming out to Vegas and experiencing that here. And if you're in Vegas, no better place to experience it then, of course, the Circa Resorts. We have the world's largest sports book. We have the only 365-day-a-year pool open and stadium swim that shows sports constantly year-round. So if you're in Vegas, you're watching sports, no better place to do it than Circa. So come out and check it out.
At the Oster on Twitter. Appreciate you, pal. We'll talk to you next Tuesday, all right?
Hope everyone hits their bets.
That's Aaron Oster, our buddy from Circa Sports out in Vegas. When we come back in, we will head into the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. Our guy, Leon Twyman, general manager of the Fanduel Sportsbook, joins us next. This is Simply the Bets. Looking for a simple holiday meal? Try Chick-fil-A catering. From Chick-fil-A nuggets to mac and cheese, enjoy a variety of tray options sized perfectly for your get-together. Order through the Chick-fil-A app and bring smiles to your family gathering. Availability and order requirements vary. See restaurant for details.
UMBC basketball is back at Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena, and tickets are available now at umbcretrievers.com. Don't miss any of the great early season matchups as the men take on local rivals Morgan State on December 10th, and the women square off with American on December 18th. And on New Year's Day, a rematch of last year's America East Championship game when the men welcome Vermont to the Peak. Experience the excitement of game day by getting your tickets right now to come see the Retrievers at Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena. Lock yours in at umbcretrievers.com.
Come experience Maryland's #1 sportsbook this NFL season at the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel, the ultimate place for any sports enthusiast. Take advantage of our 24/7 kiosks, massive video screens, and watch all the action from the best seat in the house. With more money paid out than anyone around, make every moment more at the new Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel in Hanover, Maryland. Please play responsibly. Gambling problem? Please call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit mdgamblinghelp.org.
The Baltimore County Police Department is hiring. Entry-level officers start at close to $59,000 a year with a $10,000 bonus. Some restrictions apply. Plus a great retirement plan, medical, dental, and vision insurance, advancement to specialized units, tuition reimbursement, 15 sick days earned per calendar year, and even further incentives for military members and veterans. If you have a passion for service and want a career for life, visit joinbaltimorecountypd.com or call 410-887-5542. You must be a United States citizen, possess a valid driver's license, and have a high school diploma or GED equivalent. The Baltimore County Police Department is an equal opportunity employer.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, New Maryland basketball coach Kevin Willard sits down with Stan Charles and Glenn Clark to discuss the situation he inherited in College Park and how he plans to get the program turned around. Also, inside, we introduce you to men's and women's college basketball players from all of the teams in the area. And Bo Smoka profiles Ravens receiver Devin Duvernay. Press Box is available for free at over 500 area locations, including 60 Royal Farm stores, and you can always find the entire edition as well as the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps at PressBoxOnline.com.
Experience the best in Kamado Grilling, a complete outdoor cooking appliance. The Ginsu Kamado Grill allows anyone to sear, grill, bake, and smoke all types of food. Designed for efficiency and function, the Ginsu Kamado Grill upholds the enduring legacy of the iconic Ginsu brand. The Ginsu Kamado Grill is perfect to cook all year round, is great for parties, and ideal for tailgating with your friends. Reserve your Ginsu Kamado Grill today at ginsugrills.com and get $100 off on your pre-order when you use the promo code TAILGATE. That's ginsugrills.com. Reserve yours today.
Join Glenn at halftime of every Ravens game for the Project Game Day halftime show at facebook.com/PressBoxSports. We apologize in advance. There's not much we can do about his face.
All right, back in here on Simply the Bets, brought to you by the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. Don't forget, this Saturday night, big UFC fight. I've already forgotten the name. It's Blachowicz and not going to work here anymore. Griffin will tell me again in a second. I know Patty the Batty is on the card, and that's everybody's excited about that. Who's the guy that Blachowicz is fighting?
It is Magomed Ankalaev and Jan Blachowicz.
Blachowicz. That's how you Blachowicz. And say that name.
The Polish Hammer.
Say it again.
Magomed
Ankalaev. And that person's good?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
I think he's probably going to win.
I hear it's a big fight. This is not one. I got to be honest with you. This is when I'm starting to worry about how much I'm still in.
Well,
because it's a big fight, and I don't really know all that.
It's a title fight. I mean, we talked about it yesterday.
Yeah,
it was the weird circumstances, but it is a title fight.
Place to be is the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. In order to watch it, you don't have to pay a cover. You can win money betting on the fights. It's so much better than ordering the fights at home and, losing money in the process. Get to the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel. Of course, you can reserve your spot right now. Email events@sportssocialmd.com. We head to the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel. That's where we find Leon Twyman, the general manager of the Fanduel Sportsbook, who's with us here on Simply the Bets. Leon, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How many times have you attempted against robo goalies so far?
I've actually I've done it quite a few times.
I figured you. By the way, I want to make this abundantly clear. If I worked there, so would I. I would be wandering over all the time. How successful have you been?
You know what? Honestly, I have not hit a goal.
Ooh,
Not one.
ooh. I do appreciate the honesty for what it's worth. I do appreciate that. Robo goalie will be running through the final, correct?
That is correct. We are going to be running until the 18th.
So your opportunity to come see if you are a greater athlete than Leon Twyman by attempting to score on Robo Goalie. That is your opportunity. All right, Leon, I'm guessing that it was another good week for the book because the Ravens once again failed to cover on Sunday.
Oh yeah, like it was great. I love to see it.
By the way, when you say it that way, it really like maybe you could cushion that a little bit. Like, yeah, it's a real bummer, but it is good for the book. You maybe don't have to come off so personal when you say that, sir.
That's what it was. It was personal.
God, man. How on the whole, how'd the week go for the book?
It went really well, actually. So definitely a good weekend, good week in general. All last week for the book. So
anything of particular significance besides the Ravens game?
We had quite a few things. I mean, obviously USA.
Oh right.
We had a lot of people surprisingly on Jaguars. Don't know why, but a lot of people on Jaguars.
Well, they look great against the Ravens last week. Everybody was suddenly willing to jump on board, right? Like this is their moment.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think so. And then also we had a lot of people on Dolphins as well.
Okay.
And then of course the Chiefs.
Yeah, I was one of those folks that was on the Dolphins. FanDuel, by the way, enjoy that Christmas bonus that you're getting from me this year, pal. Enjoy the nice bonus that's coming your way, courtesy singularly of your pal Glenn Clark, who has deposited a good amount of money into your coffers over the course of the last 3 weeks. It has been rough. Leon, tell me a little bit more about how this has been working. Again, as we know, sports betting mobile has been implemented for a couple of weeks now. People are heavy into it. Are you seeing people take advantage of the way that you guys have intertwined mobile betting with the experience there in the Fanduel Sportsbook?
Yes, we have a ton of patrons that come through just for the cash at counter portion of it. So we have a lot of people that will deposit, a lot of people withdrawing. Obviously, it's more withdrawing than depositing right now just because people are just cashing out like crazy. But, yes, we've been getting a lot of transactions with that. And if it's still someone's first time utilizing cash at counter, when you deposit, you still have the deposit bonus. So you can deposit and get 50% of a deposit match bonus up to $250.
Wow.
However, if you're looking to deposit 5 figures or more, which we do have a lot of, if it's your first time, we can actually reach out to FanDuel and get that limit raised for you. That way you have a bit of more of incentive to deposit more.
Oh, my. I thankfully not something that I could even consider doing because that would be dangerous, but it wouldn't even be an option for me. Well, that's tremendous. I mean, that is a great incentive for you guys to head down there and make your deposit in the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. Leon Twyman is with us here on Simply the Bets. Leon, any particular wagers this week, parlays that paid off, maybe one that was a particular loser, just anything that stood out for you over the course of the week?
Actually, there was a World Cup one that won that I was surprised about. $20 turned into about $3,000. So that was South Korea, Cameroon, Switzerland, and Uruguay, all on a parlay there.
That is a really random ticket. Like that actually makes sense that it paid out in a big number because that is a random ass ticket that someone popped in.
Yeah, ridiculous.
What a bizarre group, man. That's a huge win. Wow. I mean,
yeah,
look.
And then we also had another big. This one looks like a big basketball parlay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 19 legs. Wow.
Holy hell. I would get bored just putting it together. Like, at about the 8th leg, I'd sort of be like, yeah, I'm good. I don't have any time to keep doing this.
Yeah, so 19 legs that hit. So that was it looks like the odds were kind of heavy on those, though. But still, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, if you get up to 19 legs, yes, I agree. Like, so when you say that, are you saying, like, these were all, like LeBron James to score 5 points or something like that?
Yeah. So I'm looking at it right now. It looks like there's just a bunch of player props, and they're kind of like on the lower end for higher odds. So it was $10 that paid out $2,900, but still good, still impressive.
Yeah, that's a good way to spend $10. I would agree on that. That works. That math does indeed math. Unlike my Lamar Jackson 40 rushing yards prop that Fanduel offered me on. Although credit to Fanduel, they gave us free bet back for that prop. It was Lamar Jackson 40 rushing yards and Mark Andrews 40 receiving yards. And despite the fact that Mark Andrews stunk, Fanduel stepped in and said, "We'll give you a $20 free bet back for this particular wager," which is good because it went down in flames. That particular bet. We mentioned big fight night coming up on Saturday. You guys always have huge crowds, and I'm imagining you're expecting a big one for the UFC fight this Saturday night, correct?
I am expecting a big crowd, so definitely get those seats booked while you can, because we do fill up fast.
I know there are some other like random, like Manny Pacquiao is doing some bizarre fight on Saturday. I think there's a Terrence Crawford pay-per-view. Are you showing any of the boxing action on Saturday, or just the UFC fights?
I will have the Terrence Crawford fight as well.
Okay.
I debated on the Manny Pacquiao, and I'm like,
dude,
I don't think it's really worth it.
I mean, if any human being is watching that, he's fighting like the guy's not even a boxer. He's like a mixed martial artist, and it's not even like somebody you've heard of. Like, it's one thing if Manny Pacquiao was fighting, Quentin Rampage Jackson, we'd be like, oh, these are famous people. I'm saying that. I'm sure there's a part of the world where DKU is very famous. I've never heard of him. Never heard of the man whatsoever. So I don't blame you for that. Anything else going on right now that everybody needs to know about in the Fanduel Sportsbook?
So we still have our Super Bowl promotion going on. That's running until January. RoboKeeper, we have that promotion going on. And if you still have not signed up for the mobile app, you can come to Maryland Live Casino, sign up through our link, and you can get $200 in free bet when you place your first $5 wager. And if you also deposit with us, again, you get 50% match bonus up to $250. But if you're depositing a lot more, we can also assist with that to get a higher deposit match. And then sign up through us at Maryland Live Casino. You also get $50 in either food comp, table game play, or slot play.
Griffin and I have a small problem. We were down there last week, and we got roped into something, and I don't even know if this is live yet, because I just don't know, but we'll talk about it. Griffin and I were down there, and we got roped into doing a side bet with the live casino partners in Pittsburgh. And,
okay.
At the time, we were asked, hey, you guys feel pretty confident about the Ravens-Steelers game? And we both looked at each other and said, hell yeah, we feel pretty confident. I believe the exact words that Griffin used were, do they have Lamar Jackson? And a week ago, the answer was yes. The answer's no longer yes. And
that is crazy.
We might have really screwed this up. Griffin and I might be making a trip back to the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel in the coming weeks to consume absurd hot wings because we screwed up and ran our mouths about our confidence in the Ravens against the Steelers this week. Of course Lamar Jackson would get hurt. Of course he would. It was always going to go that way. God damn it. So, good news for you.
Crazy how that worked out.
Yeah, I might be seeing you again very soon, and you might be laughing your ass off at the misery of Griffin and I in Sports and Social. Oh, not good. All right, Leon Twyman, appreciate you, brother. We will talk to you again next Tuesday, all right?
All right, man. Have a good one.
That's FanDuel Sportsbook General Manager Leon Twyman with us here on Simply the Bets. Yeah. Griffin and I, we made a nice appearance down at the FanDuel Sportsbook, and our friend Sue Kim from Live Casino and Hotel Maryland was like, hey, we got this we got these partners in Pittsburgh. We got a sister property up there, and they have a podcast they partner with, and what do you think? You think maybe we could put some side action on the Ravens-Steelers game? And we're like, hell yeah. Like, are you kidding me? What do you mean? Can we put some side action on the – you seen Kenny Pickett's hands? Yeah, we're good. No problem. So we ran our mouths and said a lot of things. Can't take any of it back now. But we got locked into that. We're kind of screwed. So
now I'll say, I guess we have Justin Tucker, right? So
there is that.
So
like, you do have
that's
Justin Tucker.
That's what I'll say.
I don't feel
still got to hold out hope.
Don't feel great. All right, let's get a tidbit. What you got for this week?
All right. So as Leon said, it was a pretty solid week for the sports books. I could not find a whole lot of massive hits. I played the FanDuel. I was looking at the FanDuel specials on Sunday, and they had every team to make a field goal in the 1 p.m. games. And it was like plus 950. I was like, yeah. So I threw a couple $. On it, and it was looking real good. I think it came down to the Browns and the Eagles. Browns ended up kicking a field goal late in the game, and then the Titans couldn't stop anything.
Yes, they allowed 5 touchdowns.
They did, and they did get a stop once.
Yes.
And guess what?
What?
They forced the Eagles to kick a field goal, and they jumped off sides. Made it 4th and 1, like inside the 10-yard line. So the Eagles went for it. They got the 4th and 1, and ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive instead of a field goal. And that is how that bet lost for me.
That is crushing.
Yeah, you can't really lay up a 4th and 1 to the Eagles.
No.
Probably the worst team to.
Can't do that.
Yeah, so that didn't.
Oh my.
That didn't hit. Last night, someone had a Scotty Barnes method of first basket by free throw in the Raptors Celtics game.
So random.
It was 110-1. They put $5 on it. Would have paid $550.
Okay.
And Scotty opened up the game. 2 free throws on the line.
Missed them both.
Missed both of them.
Yep.
Missed both of them.
Missed both of them. Of course he did. These are the types of things sometimes that make you wonder, They just make you wonder.
I mentioned it yesterday, the over-under of the Giants Commanders game, 40.5. Somebody had an $800 parlay on that. That was the last leg. They just needed the over.
Anything in overtime. Anybody scores, you're good.
They tie at 20-20.
That is
this person, as Leon said, people were on the Jags. Someone put $440K on the Jaguars +1.
Who? Oh,
I don't know.
Drake?
Yeah, maybe. They lost
Floyd Mayweather.
They lost by 30.
Yeah, it was.
Or they lost by 26. Someone had a 7-leg parlay. They had a Christian McCaffrey touchdown, Niners money line, Michael Gallup touchdown, Cowboys money line, Cam Akers touchdown, Raiders money line. Those first 6 hits.
Okay.
It came down to Monday night, and their final leg was a Mike Evans anytime touchdown. They put $300 on this. It was 210-1.
This is a weird bit that Tom Brady does, where he doesn't throw the ball to Mike Evans.
Well, that PI.
He did, yeah. So that was how this guy got
true.
beat.
That's a good.
It was alive the entire game, and then there was the PI
spent the first 3 quarters
in the
not throwing the ball to Mike Evans.
And apparently the guy, he said he wasn't going to cash out or anything, and he flew down from New York to Tampa to watch the game. And watch as Mike Evans failed to score a touchdown. Would have had 63K.
Well,
there were a couple hits and they were in soccer. Someone won 175K off of the USA win over Iran. They had the correct score 1-0 for the U.S. On the -2 on the corner kick spread.
Okay.
They had the U.S. to lead at halftime, and then Pulisic to be the first goal scorer.
How much did they have to put on that?
They put $1,000 on that.
I'm surprised that it paid that
175K.
much. I'm surprised those numbers got that high, but
So plus 19,000 parlay on that. And then someone also last week won 4.5K on a correct score parlay off of a free bet as well. It was Netherlands 2-0 over Qatar, Senegal 2-1 over Ecuador, and then in the U.S. 1-0 over Iran. They won $4,500 off of a free bet.
Very nice. nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
And, those were the two hits that I found.
All right. It was a good week for the books.
It was.
Good week. They
Gotta get him back. Gotta get him back.
Got a lot from your boy. Got bad news for my kids on Christmas this year. Leon's going to have a great Christmas.
You still got a couple weeks.
You guys, hopefully Santa Claus comes through. Hopefully Santa takes care of you. All right, very good. Don't forget, again, reserve your spot for, what is it, 289, UFC 289?
282.
282.
Yeah.
Sure. 282 on Saturday night right now. Email events@sportssocialmd.com. Thanks to Leon. Thanks to Aaron Oster. We will be back on Thursday with Weekend at Bookies. Get down to the Fanduel Sportsbook at Live Casino and Hotel. May the odds be ever in your favor.